But now I'll rise above you.
So we have Alien King Aponte here, 19 years old. He competes in the junior welterweight division. You're 2-0 so far, man. How does it feel? You got the one knockout already. How does it feel becoming a pro already at such a young age?
Honestly, it feels great to finally get paid for what I do. Because in that, you're competing with the best of the best year round, and you're losing money actually because you have to pay to go to the trips and go to the national tournaments. So it feels good to finally get paid and get that recognition, and you know get more eyes on me. You always want that fame and fortune that comes
Your
with
amateur
boxing.
career was crazy. You were 98 and 18, right?
Yeah, 98 and 18.
When did you know like the transition to go pro, like it was the right time to do that?
We were getting ready for the Olympics, and I was on the Argentinian team, and COVID hit, so we made the decision to turn professional and get our professional, how do you say, career on the way.
And
Also, that's like COVID had a lot of negatives, but for you, it kind of affected you in a positive way to proceed your career going on.
I mean, I wanted to go to the Olympics it's always been a dream of mine to go to the Olympics, but unfortunately, when COVID hit, we made the decision, and it's been working out pretty good. I ended up fighting on a big card, the Canelo Alvarez, in my hometown, Miami, in the Hard Rock Stadium. And there's a lot of positives that came out of COVID hitting, and unfortunately ruining my Olympic dreams. But
how was
you
it? How was
know
it fighting
it
in
worked
front of
out.
your home crowd, basically? Because you live right in Miami. The stadium's probably 10, 20 minutes away from your house. How was that experience?
It was a dream come true. Every time we come down and we used to drive by the stadium, I used to always think to myself and tell my mom, one day I'm gonna fight there, and it was a dream come true when I finally did, and on such a big card, the Canelo Alvarez card. So it was a great experience.
Uh,
Aaron, now talking about your mom and the whole Olympic situation, how hard was it switching besides should I fight for my mom's national team or should I fight for my dad's national team? How was that going on?
um, we actually got the opportunity to fight for the Puerto Rican team after I was on the Argentinian team. So we were like, we might as well just stick with the Argentinian team. We're already here. We already made the team. Because the Puerto Rican coach was like, isn't he Puerto Rican? Why didn't he fight for the Puerto Rican team?
yeah.
And it's cool though. I represent both flags and Miami. So, I'm cool with either one. If I would have went to the Olympics with Argentina or Puerto Rico, it would have still been good with me. And my parents too. They don't care. They just want me to see me succeed.
Yeah, of course. And
How was your upbringing with just boxing in general? Like, I personally know your dad, Chino. I know Mike and all that. I used to go to KO Fitness before with Memo. I'm not sure if you know my barber Memo. So I used to go with them and all that. And I met Chino personally. He's as real as they boxing. How did you come up with boxing in general?
Um, we really just wanted to get stronger for baseball because at the time I was playing baseball, and that was at 9 years old, and we wanted to get stronger so I could hit the ball harder.
Oh, wow.
And we ended up, doing baseball and boxing for I think 4 years. So till I was 13, I was doing baseball and boxing, and then it just baseball kind of faded away, and I was getting more into boxing. I started falling in love with boxing more, and we started fighting more and more often, and we started going to the national tournaments, and I kind of just fell out of baseball, and I was like, okay, boxing is what I'm gonna do.
yeah.
This is what I'm gonna do with my life.
And
That
so
king
right
shit.
now, right now you're in a really competitive junior welterweight division, right? Like, there's no questions about it. It's a really tough division. You have Josh Taylor at the top. You have Jose Ramirez at the top. How do you feel you compete amongst the division? Like, what are your goals when it comes to belts, and how far along the track do you see yourself right now?
Eventually I want to unify the division and take over the entire 140 division. So if I gotta fight one of them, I'll gladly fight them. I'll take that fight, you know, to start creating a legacy for myself and making my name and start imposing my will and way on the division.
Mhm.
And then look for the big fights after that. Because first I want to unify and then probably go up. Or maybe if someone from the lower divisions, like the 135 division, where there's a lot of big names, could come up and fight me too. Because
Yeah.
I'm not going to go down to 135 unless they give me lots of money. But
About that money.
yeah, but yeah, unified division, move in weight classes, look for big fights, get big paydays. That's the plan.
When you have big boxers like big names like Delfimo Lopez shouting you out, you have like these ESPN reporters saying you're the next Prodigy up. Does that add pressure to you in a sense that like you have to make sure you're like at the top of your game every single second?
No, I actually like when people talk about me and give me credit because they give credit where credit is due because I've been working so hard all my life, since I was 9 years old working on this dream. So it's good to see the credit and people giving me credit. So ESPN and Teofimo, I known him since we were kids. I grew up with him. We fought in that same LBC. I saw him grow up. I saw him win the Golden Gloves, all of that. So yeah, I remember one time he came back and I had a fight that day and he was at the fights with his belt and his trophy. He was looking cool as hell. I was like, "Oh, shit."
That's motivating, bro. Seeing somebody like that, and then this year he took over with that fight versus um
Lomachenko.
there you go. Yeah, that put him up there, man.
Yeah,
Um
put him on the map.
so I wanted to ask you, like, for boxing, do you feel like boxing is the hardest sport to train for?
Yeah, most definitely. You got to be a different type of person to voluntarily walk in there and fight a different person.
Yeah.
I was talking about that the other day, because they started at an early age, and I'm like, what? We really train our kids to go into the ring and beat each other up. So you got kids fighting from 5 years old, fighting each other, and we really been training them to beat each other up, and it's crazy. It's like a gladiator sport, to be honest.
Yeah.
You got to be a different type of. You got to have that different type of will inside your heart to be in this boxing.
They're for sure a different breed. I can tell you that right there.
Yeah.
So, Aaron, let me ask you a question. Us as regular human beings that we're not in the boxing ring, is it true about what they say when you're on cloud nine? Once you're in that boxing ring, you don't hear the fans on the outside. You just focus on who's in front of you. You're just fighting, trying to just do your best right there. Is cloud nine a real thing in boxing?
Yeah, it really is. We call it the zone. When you're in the zone, you don't really hear anybody. And maybe you'll hear your coach because you're so used to hearing that voice. So once you hear that voice, you're like, okay, like that voice stands out to you than everybody in the crowd. And the crowd is just like white noise.
Mm-hmm.
So you kind of hear them, but it's like it's not really there because you're so focused on your opponent that everything just fades away. And it's just you, your opponent, and sometimes you can hear your coach screaming out in the corner.
And that would be Mike and Chino, right?
Yeah, Mike and Chino.
That's crazy, man.
Um,
The zone.
when you're in the ring, like, is your approach always to get a knockout? Is that what you're looking for, or
Yeah,
more?
of course. Everybody wants to be exciting and get the knockout, and nobody gets paid for the rounds. They get paid for the fight. So
Yeah.
everybody who walks in there wants to get the knockout as immediately. People want to walk in the ring and the other opponent falls on the floor and that's it, you won.
Yeah.
About our next fight, well, your next fight, you have you're on a big undercard as well this time in Hard Rock Stadium, right? April 17th.
Oh, Hard Rock Hotel and Casino.
Okay.
Yeah, the guitar.
Yeah.
The last fight was the Hard Rock Stadium.
Oh, and you're on the Demetrius Andrade card versus Williams.
Yeah.
How do you see like that fight going out? And then tell us a little bit about your opponent. Like, what's your approach from the last fight you had that you did really good to this one?
I don't really know who my opponent is yet. It's not locked in, but I
Okay.
kind of have an idea who it's gonna be. So the person that I think I'm gonna fight is a real. He likes to wait a lot and he likes to counter.
Mhm.
So I just want to box, be smart, stay safe, and look for the big shots so I can get him out of there. And the Demetrius Andre fight, I think Demetrius is gonna just take over, outbox him no matter what. I don't think the other guy has a chance at all.
That's pretty tough. Like you're saying that you don't really know who your opponent is, and you, as a boxer, I'm pretty sure you train a specific way, or you alternate your training a little bit against like who your opponent's going to be, and you're probably less than 10 days away and you're not really sure who it is. So how tough is that?
Um, it's fine. I know that I know whoever it is, I'm gonna be ready for him because in the amateurs, you fight a week straight and you don't know who your opponent is gonna be.
Mm,
So it's all about adjusting and just knowing what to do in certain situations. And I really have that boxing IQ to know how to dissect a person and get the win no matter who's in front of me.
yeah.
Aaron, and right now, since you're going into this card on April 17th, are you having a bubble situation like where you have to go to somewhere specifically and just test out and just be ready for 17th?
Yeah, on Wednesday I got to go to the bubble and we're gonna stay in a hotel until the fight on Saturday. So we're gonna go. I don't know what hotel, probably the Hard Rock, and we're gonna stay in a quarantine and we're gonna get tested before we go in and all that. So
Damn, that's
that's pretty
crazy.
much it.
Just walking around with your opponents on the way, you maybe walk into them and breakfast. What's up?
Yeah, that's what happened last time. I would eat lunch and I would see my other opponent. I would look at him, look
You give a little
away,
stare down.
keep my food.
Hit them with that Day County stare.
Yeah.
That's
So
crazy.
who are some other boxers we should be looking at in Miami that most people don't know about yet?
Xander Zayas, definitely got to keep an eye out for him. Luis Melendez, Harold Calderon, um, Marcel Bellatier,
Mm-hmm.
and who else can I think of right now?
You got a Castigador in there?
El Castigador, Frank
Not a lot of
Gonzalez,
people know about him, but he's nice with
yeah,
it too.
yeah, and Chauncey Grace.
Okay.
Don't see.
I've heard some really good things about Xavier Zayas. He's like a bigger name.
And Zayas.
Yeah, he's nasty, bro.
Yeah,
You
he's
guys
good.
are the same team right now, right?
Nah, he trained somewhere else, but we grew up in the amateurs together and we're really close friends.
Oh, okay. All right. So this goes to my next question. This is, it's a big debate depending on which fighter you grew up watching. I personally, I'm a Canelo fan all the way. Which one's more impressive to you? Mayweather retiring 50-0 with 27 knockouts, or Canelo going 55, one loss and two ties, and 37 knockouts at only 30 years old so far? Which one's more impressive to you and why?
Mayweather for sure because he really just outclassed all of his opponents and he changed the game money wise.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yep.
money wise, he taught everybody how to make money. You got to open your own promotional company. You got to do everything through you. And he really opened everybody's eyes and he actually laid a path for Canelo. He made Canelo the next big star. He told everybody before Canelo was the biggest star, Canelo's going to be the biggest star. So he really has an eye for talent. And Mayweather's just a different breed, bro. Because he really knew how to dissect people, whoever was in front of him, and outbox anybody. And Canelo got that in him too, but it's just Mayweather's.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just grew up watching Mayweather. I always thought he was the best fighter in the world.
I like
So
that point you made financially because that's so true. The money he was able to make for boxing was insane, man.
yeah,
Yeah. All
Just
right.
having his name on any card is just Mayweather. Mill
Yeah.
is attached to his name, so
Yeah, of course.
he's not just fighting for any little cash flow.
People didn't even know who he would fight against, and they were buying the pay-per-view just to see Mayweather fight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Two
Crazy.
legends for sure, man. We're gonna keep looking forward to your career, April 17th. How could we watch that? Is it on Daz?
Yeah, it's gonna be on the Zone, and yeah, the Zone.
Got
It'll
it.
be
All
live
right.
on the Zone. I don't know the time yet.
Okay.
Cool, man.
Thank you for coming on, bro. We really appreciate it. We're gonna be looking
Yeah,
at
no
that. Hopefully, I'm looking for a knockout, bro. I want a knockout.
No pressure.
And yeah, keep doing your thing, bro. You're putting on for Miami for the boxers here. You're an inspiration already at such a young age. And thank you once again for coming on, man. Peace.
Hey man, thank you for all the love and support, and taking the time to do this interview.
All right, Aaron. King shit. Keep that king shit up.
Yes, sir.